My best friend thought that shoving her breast down my daughter's throat to calm her down was completely okay. I have a daughter of 10 months. Me, 30F, and my best friend, 31F, have always been super close, and she helped a lot during my pregnancy and after childbirth. So it always came naturally to me to ask her for help till she became some kind of nanny for my daughter when needed. She's always been very eager and happy to help, since she has no children of her own. She had a miscarriage in the past and stopped trying afterwards. So we were at a mutual friend wedding yesterday, and I was holding my daughter for quite some time since she hates strollers. My best friend came to me and offered to take her for a while so that I could take a break and go chat with some friends. I agreed and wholeheartedly thanked her. After 20 minutes or so, I come back to where we were and she wasn't there. So I start looking for her in the garden and she was literally nowhere to be found. Finally, after another 10 minutes, I managed to find her, and I see her talking to some people while holding my baby with her boob shoved down my daughter's throat. I literally tried my best to keep my composure and not to scream, so I went to her and said that we needed to talk. After reaching a quiet place, I yelled, "WTF was wrong with her, and why was she nursing my daughter?" She looked at me in disbelief, and she replied that she understood that it was the best way to calm my daughter, and that there's nothing wrong about it, adding that she could very well be her daughter. DTDF? I was shocked, but we couldn't keep up the conversation because we needed to get back inside for the wedding cake. I told her that we would have continued the discussion later on. We never did, but we agreed to meet today in a couple of hours. Honestly, I'm so f***ing mad. WTF? Why did she had to do it? I don't even f***ing know what to tell her without raging at her. It's been nearly a day and this thought never left my mind, not even for a second. How could she say that there was nothing wrong with it? I feel like she violated my daughter, and she gave literally zero office about it. I'm trying to arrange my thoughts before talking to her. I hope I don't end up hitting her. I'm nearly bursting out. Edit, 5 hours later. So we met and we talked. I let her talk first. She explained that my daughter was restless while she was talking to a couple of women, and they said that maybe she was hungry, and it was fine for them to keep talking while she was breastfeeding, so she just did WTF. I went straight to the point. What she did was completely f***ed up. No excuses. She told me that she didn't agree, and that she did nothing wrong. She said that she tried everything in the past, and nothing worked except for her breasts, which were the only things that calmed her down, so she just did what she always had done. I literally couldn't believe it. I asked her what was wrong with her for doing such a thing behind my back, and why the F-yick among all things she thought that she could dry nurse my daughter. She replied back, saying that she was just doing what she thought was best for the baby, and doing what my daughter wanted, adding that she didn't think she needed to inform me of such thing, since she's quite a second mother to her. I was losing it, but she continued. She added that she wasn't dry nursing her, since a while ago after using pumps and dry nursing her, she started to lactate a little, saying that the supply was still low, but that in a while I could leave breastfeeding to her and stop doing it and worrying about it. I was livid, but she didn't even realize. She was completely clueless, like absorbed in her own world, like not even realizing that what she did was wrong. So I stood up from the table and told her that she was completely insane and that she was creeping me out. I told her that she wasn't allowed near my daughter anymore and to never contact me again, or I would report everything to the police. She started crying, saying that I couldn't cut her off from our daughter's life, so I lost it and shouted at her that it's not her goddamn baby, but it was me who popped her out. It was me who was pregnant for 9 months and she was my daughter and not hers, and left. I'm just completely shocked. I don't even think shocked can completely describe what I'm feeling now. I received a couple of texts from her begging to reconsider it and asking to see my daughter. I told her to stop contacting me and blocked her. If I receive another message or call or anything like that, I will report everything to the police. I'm just disgusted. She was my best friend. Why did she do something like this? I'm completely speechless. Upade. After trying for most of the last evening to contact me on social medias, this morning she showed up at my front door. I told her that she needed to leave because I didn't want to call the police on her. She started crying, babbling why I was treating her this way and why I was keeping her away from my daughter, since she did nothing wrong. I told her that everything she did was wrong because she did all of this behind my back. She can't be her mother, and she can't take over as the only one breastfeeding. It was delusional, even just thinking something like this. She responded saying that my daughter needed her breasts and that her milk will be surely by far better than mine for the baby. If this wasn't enough, she said that she was worried because my breasts are too small to feed her properly, and to please stop being selfish and start thinking what's really better for my daughter, concluding saying that she was fine with me breastfeeding her until she reached a sufficient supply, but then I should leave the responsibility to her if I wanted my daughter to grow healthy. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I wasn't even mad. I couldn't believe it was my best friend, the one who was saying such bulls. T. She was talking really loud, and I guess my daughter heard that because she started crying. And she took it as a sign that my daughter was calling for her. WTF. She only left when I was dialing the police, saying that I shouldn't treat her like this, and that she's only doing what's best for my daughter. I'm done. I can't take this shit anymore. I contacted a mutual friend, and I told her everything, emphasizing that she needs help. She agreed to talk to her and see what's going on. In the meanwhile, I'll go to the police and try to file for a RO, and I will talk to a pediatrician as soon as possible. I can't live peacefully like this, and I'm starting to get worried for my daughter. Relevant comments. Can you contact her parents? Unfortunately, I don't know her parents, and I don't know how to get in touch with her ex-husband. I asked the mutual friend if she perhaps knows something more. Is she even lactating, or is that a delusion as well? I honestly don't know. Just the thought of her inducing lactation using my daughter makes me shiver. But my daughter gets very frustrated when she gets no milk immediately from sucking, at least with me, so I don't really know what to think. Edit. Thinking about it, I do think that her breasts have gotten bigger, since I saw her nearly every day. I don't know if inducing lactation caused breasts to grow just like pregnancy, or if I just made a blunder. The horrible smaller breasts comment. It was so uncalled for and just plain stupid. I couldn't believe she said something like that since she always has been very smart. Yes, she's embarrassingly busty, but she never bragged about them, not even once. And being busty has nothing to do with breastfeeding. I never had issues feeding my baby. I really have no idea where this thing came from. It doesn't seem like something she would say, like all the rest of it. And for the record, I don't regard mine as small. In fact, I think they're too big. Plans. I'm indeed considering staying at a hotel for the time being. I'm trying to organize everything. She has a copy of the house keys, and I don't think I can change the locks swiftly. How much about you and your codes/info/locks does she know? She's been my best friend for more than 20 years, and she's been with me nearly every day before and after childbirth. If she doesn't know everything, she knows a good 99% of that, everything. Why wouldn't you know how to contact her parents/ex-husband after knowing her 20 years? Why wouldn't you know how to contact her parents/ex-husband after knowing her 20 years? I never wrote about not knowing her ex-husband. I don't know where you read that. I do know her ex-husband. But since the divorce, I never spoke to him, nor I have means to contact him. I asked the mutual friend if she knows something more, perhaps his address or telephone number, since I can't find him on social medias. Regarding her parents, I don't know them so well. When we were younger, she had a live-in nanny, and she's the only person related to her that I knew personally, since she was the one who took her to school, or to the playground, where we met to play in the past. I only met her parents once, but we never spoke. From what she told me, she always had a strained relationship with her parents, because they were always busy working, but it was a delicate topic, so we never talked much about it. I could try contacting the nanny, but I should try to find her on social medias. Update 2. So, I came back home this morning after spending the night at a nearby hotel. I didn't feel safe staying alone in my house, since she had a copy of the keys. Even if I have a surveillance system, I didn't want to take the risk. The first thing I did when I came back was calling an emergency locksmith, explained the situation, and they arrived and did the job swiftly. I felt so much safer knowing that she can't get in anymore. I checked the house, but I was exactly as I left it yesterday, and after checking the surveillance tapes, I was sure she didn't pay me a visit. I informed my close neighbors about what happened, and they were very understanding and helpful. I then met up with the mutual friend, and she updated me on the talk she had with her. She told me that she visited her at home this morning because she wanted to talk to her face to face since she thought I was a little bit overreacting. Well, she went, my best friend greeted her, and they started chatting a little before she invited her in. So far so good, until they sat down and my best friend asked her if they could keep talking while she pumped because she needed to get her supply running. Our mutual friend played dumb, saying that it wasn't a problem, but she asked why she needed to pump if she doesn't have children's. She replied back saying that she indeed has a daughter, and that she was surprised that I didn't tell the mutual friend about it. She then pointed out that it was my daughter, and that even if she didn't give birth to her, she still considered her as her baby too, and that she needed mama's, referring to her, milk to grow healthy. She kept going, saying that she had no choice but pumping because I was being sassy and inconsiderate and I wasn't letting her breastfeed our baby, but that she couldn't be inconsiderate like I was, and she needed to get her supply to a sufficient level, but that she was sure that I would change my mind in no time since I'm not stupid, and I know that her breasts are better for our daughter. She told me that she couldn't believe what she was hearing, and that she couldn't believe that all of this was true. But what it shocked her the most was the fact that she was indeed lactating. She wasn't producing much, but she was indeed pumping breast milk. She tried to talk to her, but it wasn't no use. She just wasn't listening. And after a while trying, she just said that there was nothing wrong in what she was doing, and that she was just being a good mother. And after that, she asked her to leave because she needed to relax while pumping. Unfortunately, she forgot about asking for the keys of my house. But fortunately, I was able to change the locks this morning. I honestly wasn't surprised hearing all of that. But still, it was very, very depressing. She was completely shocked, and she couldn't understand what happened, since apart from this, she seemed completely normal. I then asked her to accompany me to the police, and unfortunately, there aren't no extremes yet to file for a RO, not even a temporary one. According to what they told me, where I live, solid proofs of harassment, stalking, etc. need to be presented. And the surveillance tapes, texts, which are the only things I have, don't show no harassment or clear evidence that she's stalking me. So the only thing I could was file a formal complaint of what happened, and did that. They told me that they will keep an eye on the situation, and they will check my neighborhood more frequently to be sure nothing happens. And that's it for now. The mutual friend will stay at my house for a couple of days to help me recover from what happened, also to wait for my parents to arrive. Unfortunately, she doesn't know her parents, but she found a way to contact her ex-husband, and I will contact him tomorrow to ask for help. It's been a while, and I hope he's willing to. I also booked an appointment with the pediatrician, and I will get my daughter checked next week. I will stop making updates for a while. I need to get my shit together, plan what to do next, and take care of my daughter. Fortunately enough, my parents are coming to help me, and I'm really, really relieved. I don't think I can keep facing this situation alone.